Welcome again, fellow problem solvers. Mr Oosthuizen here, John East. Thank you for joining, sharing, liking and subscribing. So LCD, or lowest common denominator, you know how to use that with integers, right? But today we're going to use this concept with fractions. Welcome back, fellow problem solvers. So let's have a look at this one. LCD and how to use it with fractions. So just a quick reminder, LCD stands for lowest common denominator, which is, as you would remember from previous videos, the lowest multiple that is common to all the denominators of two or more fractions. So this is how we're going to look at it. So yes, how to use it. So mixed numbers versus improper fractions. From the previous video, you would notice that we actually used our lowest common denominator to transition between a mixed number and an improper fraction. Now the second part we want to look at is when we are comparing values of different fractions. Okay, so as an example, let's look at example 1. So we have, let's say, a fraction called 22 over 7. And we have another fraction, which is maybe, let's say, 9 over 5. And we want to know which one is bigger without using our calculators. It's very important not to use your calculators in this exercise because you want to develop your thinking. Okay, so we'll work on calculator literacy later. So first of all, we're going to use our lowest common denominator. Now the easiest one or method here is to multiply this whole value, 22 over 7, with 5 over 5. In doing so, we will create a fraction with the denominator equal to 35. Now at the same time, we are going to multiply our second fraction, 9 over 5, with 7 divided by 7. And in doing so, we will also create a fraction with the denominator of 35. Very important here is that we are multiplying with 1 because 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1. So we are not changing the value of this fraction. The same with the second fraction, we are multiplying with 1 in the form of 7 over 7. So we're not changing the value of the 9 over 5. Okay, so next step. 5 times 22 is 110. So over here we can write this down as 110 over 35. And our second fraction, 9 times 7 is 63. So we've got 63 over 35. Now it's very easy to compare our two fractions with each other. Which one is bigger? Well, the one on the left is definitely bigger than the one on the right. And it's easily comparable now because our denominators are the same. And the numerators then show us the relative value towards each other. Let's look at a second example just quickly. I'll take an easier one. Let's say 3 over 4, which we know is 0.75. And something like, let's say, 4 over 6. Which one is bigger? Our strategy again will be to look at our lowest common denominator. Now in this case, we can actually multiply the left fraction with 3 over 3. Why? Because it will take the denominator to 12, and we know that's the lowest common denominator. And that then means 4 over 6 we're going to have to multiply with 2 over 2. So our first fraction will then become 9 over 12. Our second fraction will become 8 over 12. You can see how close these two are in value, 3 over 4 and 4 over 6, right? But it's also clear again that the one on the left hand side is bigger than the one on the right hand side. I hope this helps you to just understand our lowest common denominator and how it ties in with fractions and how to effectively and practically use this in problem solving. All the best to you.